Good afternoon everyone, my name is Muhammad Rafiq Sandi, my student number is 33230120. Today I will talk about sociolinguistics. My topic covers 5 parts: gender, exclusive speech, stereotypes, style, context, and register. Next one is introduction to sociolinguistics, gender, exclusive speech. Let me start with a simple question. What is sociolinguistics? Sociolinguistics is the study of language in society. It looks at how language changes depending on culture, identity. One important topic here is gender exclusive speech. Next one is definition of gender exclusive speech. So what exactly is gender exclusive speech? It is language that favors one gender, it leaves out the other, it often repeats all gender roles, assumptions. These kinds of language treats one gender as normal and makes other genders invisible. For example, job titles like chairman, policeman, and stewardess already include gender the job name. Another example is using he or his. The next one is characteristic of gender exclusive speech. There are 4 main characteristics. First, using gender specific words like chairman or fireman that assume default gender. Second, these words repeat all gender roles. Third, they create a small bias that makes male normal choice in language. Fourth, this affects how people think. It shapes attitudes about gender equality. The next one is Lakoff theory on gender and language, 1975. Now let's look at a theory Robin Lakoff in 1975 said that language both shows and continues genders inequality. She explained that woman language is often seen as less powerful, using more heads, take questions, and polite words. Man language, on other hand, is linked to power and directness. Lakoff's main point is language is never neutral, it shapes gender relations. Next one is example 1, pronoun usage. Here is an example. The sentence, each student must submit his assignment on time. This use his as a general pronoun, but this excludes female and non-binary students. It's assumed the normal student is male. This shows gender exclusive language in academic writing. Next one is example 2, gender job titles. Another examples, the chairman will lead the meeting. The word chairman assumes the leader is male. This suggests leadership is a male role. It pushes women and other genders to decide whether exclusive words will be chairperson or simply chair. The next one is context of gender exclusive speech. Where do we usually find this kind of language? First, in formal writing, like academic documents that use male pronouns by default. Second, in professional settings, meetings, and company communications. The next one is sociolinguistic phenomenon. Gender bias in language. This brings us to bigger idea, gender bias in language. Many language systems treat male as the default. This repeats all power structures, which makes masculine words feel universal, while treating women as an exceptions. Next one is why these examples represent gender exclusive speech. Let's connect this back to our examples. First, male words like his or chairman are used as general terms, excluding others. Second, this makes female and other identities feel less important. The next one is analysis using Lakoff theory. Let's analyze this with Lakoff theory. Point 1. Male terms as the norm. Lakoff says using he or chairman as general word shows that male experience is treated as the standard, making other genders invisible. Next one is research finding. Now some research, Talberg and colleagues in 2007 found that gender exclusive language shapes our mental pictures. People imagine male when male default words are used. Sisney and colleagues in 2016 found gender's fair language is important for equality because inclusive words reduce hidden gender bias. The next one is interpretations. Let's interpret this from three angles. Linguistics. Words like he look neutral but carry hidden bias. Social. This language repeats gender roles and power imbalance. Cultural male dominant language comes from history from all political system and it passed down through generations. The next one is comparison of pronouns versus job title examples. Let's compare our two examples. Pronoun usage. Each student must submit his assignments. Use male pronoun as default, exclude others and make male the language norm. Job title usage. The chairman will lead the meeting. Use a male specific job word implying leadership is only for men. Both examples show the same problem including other genders. The next one is conclusion on gender exclusive speech. To conclude this section, language keeps gender inequality alive through everyday male default words. Inclusive choices like singular they and chairperson help reduce this bias. Choosing our words carefully is important in school, work, and social life. The next one is section 2, stereotypes in sociolinguistics. Now let's move to the second part, stereotypes in sociolinguistics. Introduction to stereotypes. What are stereotypes in sociolinguistics? Stereotypes are simple generalizes beliefs about a group of people about gender, race, or job in sociolinguistics. Stereotypes are shown and repeated through everyday language. When people use stereotypical words, they repeat fixed ideas about groups, ignoring individual difference. The next one is characteristic of stereotypes. Stereotypes have four features. First, they generalize, ignoring individual difference. Second, they oversimplify complex human traits. Third, they are often inaccurate without real evidence. Fourth, language is the main way stereotypes are spread. The next one is Walter Lippmann theory of stereotypes, 1922. Walter Lippmann in 1922 introduced the idea of picture in our heads, simple mental images we create about groups of people. He said stereotypes work like mental shortcuts, helping our brain sort people quickly, but these shortcuts turn complex human identities into fixed, oversimplified images. Link language spreads and repeats their stereotypes across generations. The next one is example 1. Women are naturally better at communications. Here an example. This sounds like a compliment, but it is still a stereotype. It generalizes an entire gender. It limits how we see both women and men communication, reducing complex skill to a simple gender assumptions. The next one is example 2. Men are better leaders than women. Another example, these stereotypes connect leadership ability to gender. It implies men are naturally better leaders. This affect real decisions, hiring, promotion, and task assignment, often putting women at a disadvantage. The next one is context of stereotypical language. Where do we see stereotypes appear? First, in casual spoken conversation. Second, in written media like social posts and news articles. Third, in workplace affecting hiring and evaluations. Fourth, in advertising where roles, slogans share public views. The next one is sociolinguistic phenomenon, gender stereotyping. Language does not just reflect beliefs, it actively strengthens them. When people repeat the phrases like women are naturally nurturing or men are naturally leaders, language becomes a tool that turns belief into social norms. Next one is why this example represents stereotypes. Let's explain why these stereotypes. First, they ignore individual difference, treating everyone in a group the same way. Second, they create unfair judgments, affecting hiring, leadership, and daily interactions. The next one is analysis using Slipsman's theory. Using Lipsman theory, stereotypes work as mental shortcuts. When we apply to gender, people are placed into fixed group, like women are communication or men are leaders, ignoring real individual difference. The next one is research funding on gender stereotypes. Some research to support this Hellman in 2012 found that gender stereotypes strongly affect workplace evaluations, causing bias, judgment of skill and performance. Egley and Karau in 2002 found that leadership is closely linked with masculine traits. They create a bias that puts women in disadvantage. Next slide is linguistic, social, and cultural impact. Let's look at three perspectives. Linguistic stereotypes looks natural but hides bias, making it feel normal. Social, repeating fixed traits shapes how people are treated. Cultural stereotypes come from old cultural norms of male dominance passed down through generations. Next is comparison and communication versus leadership stereotypes. Comparing our two examples, similarities both are gender-based generalization that assign fixed traits and cause bias. Difference, the communication stereotype is about interpersonal skill, while the leadership stereotype is about authority and decision making, but both limit individual potential. Next one is conclusion on stereotype. The sum up stereotypes expressed through language repeat, oversimplify belief about gender, whether about communication or leadership. They limit individual potential. Lippmann theory reminds us that mental shortcuts can lead to unfair judgments. Using inclusive neutral language helps challenge these stereotypes. Next one is sections divider. Style in sociolinguistic. Next, let's move to the third topic, style in sociolinguistics. Next one is definition of language style. What is language style? It is the way we change our speech or writing depending on social situation. We adjust our vocabulary, tone, formality based on what we're talking to and why. Next one is case study, student message to professor. Here's a case study, informal message, "Hey prof, what's up? I need your signature as soon as possible." This is too casual and treats the professor like a friend, not appropriate for academic settings. Formal message, "Good morning professor, I would like to request to your signature on my academic form. Thank you." This is respectful, clear, and appropriate. Next one is analysis of styles differences. Let's compare these two styles. Informal style in casual and lacks politeness, not suitable for academic or professional settings. Format style respectful, clear, and structured. It shows professionalism and social awareness. Next one is why formal style is appropriate. Why do we need formal style sometimes? First, formality shows seriousness and competence. Second, politeness shows respect for the listener. Third, appropriate style builds trust and credibility. The next one is Martin Juice Language Style Theory, 1967. Martin Juice in 1967 introduced 5 levels of style: Freudian, formal, consultative, casual, and intimate. This level move from normal, like legal documents, to very informal, like talking with close friends. Next one is research on language style and communication. Research shows that solid formal language improves relationship and gets more positive responses. Speakers who match their style to the context are seen more competent, but mismatched style but too casual in a formal settings. Next one is conclusion on language style. In conclusion, adjusting our style is important for good communications. Matching our style with the situation shows respect and social awareness. Next one is section 4, context in social linguistics. Now let's move to the fourth topic, context in social linguistics. Definition of context. What is context? Context is the situation, background, and environment around communication. It includes the speaker, the listener, the culture, and the purposes of the interactions. Next one is case study. This project is really 6. Here an example, the word six has two very different meanings. Traditionally, it means hal or bad, but in modern slang, especially among young people, it means excellent or impressive. Next one is analysis of different interpretations. Let's look at 2 interpretations. Literal interpretations. People who don't know your slang understand sick as something negative, like illness slang interpretation. People familiar with modern slang understand sick as a compliment, meaning something impressive. The next one is holiday theory, meaning depends on context. In A.K. Halliday explained that meaning is not fixed, it depends on the situation. The same words mean different things depending on context. His theory of systematic functional linguistics says that language works within social situations. Next one is conclusion on context. To conclude, context is the foundation of meaning. Knowing who is speaking to whom and in what setting help us understand messages correctly. The next one is sections divider. Register in social linguistics. Finally, let's talk about 5th topic, register in social linguistics. Next one is definition of register. What is register? Register is the variation in language depending on the topic, purpose, and audience. It has 3 key parts: field, the subject being discussed; purpose, the goal of communication; and the audience who we are speaking to. Next one is case study. Doctor speak different expressions. Here's an example from healthcare. Technical register: the patient exhibits symptoms of hypertension with a systolic pressure exceeding 150 mHg. This is used between doctors and medical professionals. Next one is analysis of register difference. Comparing these two, the technical register use precise medical terms among professionals, ensuring accuracy. Simple register avoid jargon so patients and families can understand clearly. Next one is Halliday register theory. Halliday register theory has 3 parts: field, the topic or subject of communication; tenor, the relationships between speakers; and the channel of communication, whether spoken, written, or digital. Next one is conclusion on register. In conclusions, choosing the right register improve understanding between speakers. Communication should be centered on the audience. Next one is section dividers. Stereotype case study in professional context that bring us to our final section. A case study on stereotypes in professional context. Thank you for listening. Let's move into last part together.
Slide anjing mati cok.